Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paddock Podcast. Joining me, as always, is my esteemed colleague, Mr. Joseph Smith. How are we doing?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Are you in full World Cup fever mode?
World Cup
whatever you want to call
fever
it.
meets Christmas fever meets... what else have we got this time of year? Pumpkin season and that.
Pumpkin season, fireworks season, all that jazz.
Yeah, it feels very Christmassy. Look at that.
There you go. We've pushed the boat out here. Look at this. Hey?
So...
Don't get any more festive than that. We are doing a festive competition. Yeah? As we always do on this channel, the 12 days of Paddock is an essential part of the Christmas period now. I'm sure you're all aware of it, but I'll tell you about it anyway. We'll be giving away prizes and prizes over a 12-day period for our members. If you join our membership, you will get to enter the draw. So each day for 12 days, you're given a different prize. And the big prize at the end of it all... This is
the best prize you can possibly imagine. When you think, what would it be? What would be the best thing they could be giving away? You think, maybe it could be like a PlayStation. Maybe it could be like a ticket for this event or that event. Really, we all know what the best prize is, Jane. What is the best prize? Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Cash.
Yeah, money.
Cash. So we're just going to give away 500 quid cash.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a chance of winning it, if you're in England, it'll be pounds. If you're in any other country, it'll be the country or the
euros, the euro, or dollars.
Yeah, it could be a Kuwaiti dinar, which is the most highly regarded currency in the world.
Really?
Yes. So if you want it in that, you can have it in that.
Dinar in Tunisia.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously not the Kuwaiti one, but just that was the currency.
So whichever currency you live with, we will be giving you £500 worth of that currency.
I wish that Paddock had been around back in the day. Yeah. Because then I wouldn't have had to sell my prizes for cash to buy drugs.
Do you know
I would have just had the money. Not that I'm encouraging anyone to spend it on drugs.
Feels like you are a bit. We're also giving away loads of other great prizes. Manscaped packages. We're giving away Ridge wallets. We're giving away vouchers. We're giving away Paddock merch. We're giving away all sorts of stuff.
And right, for starters, the 12 days of Paddock is meant get involved, join, get involved in the draw. Hopefully you can win some money and give yourself a little bit of a boost for Christmas. But even if you're just a member, you get extras as well. You get discount on the merch. You get extra content as well. We put videos up there on the members section. You get to be part of an exclusive Telegram group as well, where you can have a chat with other like-minded Reds. So there's other things there as well, not just the prizes that are on offer, but also the extra content and stuff we do provide for our members. So go and check out the membership section. We do appreciate all the support we've had from our members over the last 2.5 years, 2.5 years almost, since we took over at Stretford Paddock. What we're talking about today, Arkid?
Transfers.
All
sorts going on. We're looking ahead a little bit to Man United's friendly on Wednesday. We're looking ahead at...
United are playing, aren't they?
Yeah, what seems to be Cristiano Ronaldo's destination looks set and then not set, depending on who you believe. Little bits on Sancho, updates on Frimpong. We've got Gakpo. We've got all sorts going on. So, weirdly, quite a bit of Man United news today, despite it being World Cup season.
Can we get the running stuff out of the way? Do get involved in the chat and the comments. I want to sort of... One day I will... we will, as a club, as a fan base, as a channel, get past this Cristiano Ronaldo saga. But we thought we'd give you an update because, since he's left United, he's not gone anywhere else. Yeah. And now it looks like he could be going to Saudi Arabia. Yep. For a bit of a deal there, Arkid, isn't it?
It's going into Marco or Master, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But they're saying that it's sort of deal done. 2.5-year contract, 200 million euros per season. That is absolutely ridiculous. Messi and Neymar are both on 75 million and 70 million euros respectively. Paupers. So this would be almost 3 times what Neymar's on. There were some rumours that this includes any sort of sponsorship deals. Now, I don't know how much he makes per year currently on those, but presumably that will be absolutely crucial for them, won't it? Because they will, I would guess, think that they can make most of that money back or a lot of that money back on the money they bring in from sponsorship, from his face and his name and his sort of likeness. So I think that's a crucial part of it. But for Ronaldo, it's like Elvis doing Vegas, innit? He's doing it basically.
It's a good analogy now.
Yeah, he's doing what's it called? Where you
residency.
He's doing a residency in Saudi Arabia for 2 years. Yeah, it's not like him trying to increase his career. It's him sort of consolidating and capitalizing on the career he's already built. So yeah, he's doing his residency in Saudi Arabia. Huge contract. 200 million euros a season, fair enough, go and have it.
It just shows, doesn't it, that this is the reason he wanted to go. I don't think there was anything to do with he wanted Champions League football or he fell out with Ten Hag. He's not daft, Ronaldo. He knew if he left United, he could massively increase his wages, despite the fact that he was on big money at United. And that's what's happened. And you know what? I've said it a million times. I say it again. I think that, time is a great healer. And there was a lot of United fans who are quite angry with the way Ronaldo's gone about handling all this and sort of engineering a move and giving that interview and all that other stuff and criticising Ten Hag, although we do like the criticism of the Glazers. I think, in a few years' time or whenever, people will just be like, you know what, he won the Ballon d'Or, he won 3 Premier League titles, he won the Champions League. Even in his final full season, he still managed 24 goals. So let's just remember the good times. And let's all just move on and, 200 million euros per season.
Do you know what? I can't even knock it. I can't even say, well, what about your legacy? What about the goals? Just fucking 200 million quid a season.
And I'm guessing, no disrespect to the Saudi Arabian League, whatever, it's not going to be the most taxing period of his career.
No. And there are very few human beings on earth making that sort of money. Even when you go into the sort of the real big boys, there are billionaires that aren't making that much a year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There are some people whose net worth is $1 billion, and at the end of the year, it's 1.1 billion. That's less than he's made. So, it's unbelievable. So, I don't think that anyone could knock him for that. He maybe wanted to get more Champions League goals, but he's still got 150 or whatever it is.
His legacy as one of the all-time greats is absolutely cemented. There's no doubt about that. There'll be a debate whether it's him, whether it's Messi, whether it's Maradona, but he's certainly up there. There's no question about that. And whether you think Ronaldo is the GOAT or not, you can't deny he's had an unreal career. He's smashed all sorts of records. Not just the goal scoring feat as well, but the trophies he's won, the Ballon d'Ors. Everything. And he's done it in so many different leagues. He's obviously done it in the Premier League, he's done it in Portugal, he's done it in Spain, he's done it in Italy.
Now we'll find out if he can do it on a cold rainy night in Riyadh.
Yeah, nice. But it's just one of those, there's not many players who've sort of gone to all the different leagues and done what he's done. No. So, fair play with him. Get involved in the chat and the comments, let us know what you think. Don't forget as well to hit like. And if anyone, has any updates on the, Japan?
Croatia. Well, I can tell you right now, it's still 1-1.
Yeah, that's the clash this afternoon, and then you've got Brazil, South Korea later, isn't it? Which is like a United game, isn't it, with that many United players playing for Brazil?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Anthony Casemiro and Fred.
Yeah,
three of the big boys. It is good.
That's as many as play for any country.
Yeah, that's it. So we'll be tuning into that one later. Right, shall we move on?
Yeah.
There's a United game on the horizon.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? It seems like it's been about 5 years since we last had one, but it's not. It's been about 3 weeks. But we're over in Cadiz. Yeah, talk me through it. So
the squad is confirmed. Some notable sort of players in there. Obviously, you got De Gea, Heat, and Dubravka, the people you'd expect, but then a few youngsters as well. Reece Bennett, Tyler Fredrickson, Sam Murray, Bjorn Hardley, Maxi Adeyemi.
You've got, sorry to interrupt there, see that Charlie McNeil's in there?
Yeah.
We love it. Charlie McNeil. Great to see that. Joe Hugill as well. Kobe
Mainoo, another one who's quite well known but hasn't come into the first team yet. Obviously, you've got likes of McTominay, Van der Beek, Elanga, Shola Shoretire, like I said there, Charlie McNeil.
What's
Garnacho and Martial as well.
What is the script, right, with Phil Jones? Just out of curiosity. I'm not trying to have a dig at him because I'm done with all that.
I read something today that apparently he had an injury years ago. I think it was something to do with his meniscus.
Yeah.
Or correct me if I'm wrong, but the specifics of it are less important. Basically, apparently he had some surgery on it about 12 months ago that hasn't really worked, apparently, which is quite sad.
Yeah.
And that's why he's not really in the team. He's not really in training. I think he's basically on the way out, and he's at a point where the surgery had to repair something didn't really work, from what I read.
Yeah, well, someone messaged me before saying they were at the airport, not going to Spain, and they saw Phil Jones, like, legitimately, I'm not lying. I was like, why is he going somewhere else other than Cadiz? But obviously, if he's injured. And, we know we don't need to...
Sad, isn't it, as well?
It is sad, because people laugh, right? And there's a few clips of certain other Stretford Paddock presenters making bold statements about Phil Jones. But don't forget, Fergie made a statement. I remember seeing Phil Jones at Blackburn, and he looked unreal, and he was only 18. 18 in the centre of defence at a team that was, battling relegation, and he helped keep them up. So there was a time when Phil Jones, was absolutely flying, but the last 4 or 5 years, or whatever it's been, have just been horrendous for him. And, it's just sad to see, really. It's sad to see any United player sort of fizzle out in the way he has, especially when he's become such a source of ridicule. But there's a lot of youngsters there.
Yep.
Great to see them getting a bit of a run out. Obviously, we know Zidane and Charlie from what we saw in pre-season. Joe Hugill and Charlie McNeil, big goal scorers. Donny van der Beek and Anthony Elanga. Do you think this could be a chance for them to sort of do anything?
No.
Or do you think that they're fringe
this is
players
a
at
chance
best?
for Anthony Martial, Garnacho, De Gea, maybe the likes of Iqbal and Savage and Lindelof to get some fitness. That's really all I can see it being. And they need that, by the way. Martial especially needs that. Who of those names mentioned, De Gea is guaranteed to start no matter what at the moment. And of the rest of them, Anthony Martial's the only other one that would be starting most weeks when he's fit. So those are the two I'm really excited to see. But I just don't see where. I think we've seen what Van der Beek is.
Yeah.
I don't think we can. This argument of there's still more to come from him.
Yeah.
Maybe there is, but we can't keep waiting at this point. I think we're unlikely to see any more from Donny van der Beek than we have already seen.
No, I agree. Man United Shavon says, Jay, I need your address for your Christmas present. You don't have to send me a Christmas present. Your support on this channel is more than enough. Mank Mike 93 says, might be a silly question, but does the member discount automatically apply when going to buy merch? Want to get a few bits for Christmas?
No, you get access to the code when you become a member.
Right, I'm glad you answered that.
We'll give you the code.
Yeah. Beers says, I would be surprised if Donny is here next season as well. Yeah, I think that sooner or later we just have to say it ain't working out for Donny van der Beek.
No.
And there was a time when it looked like it might do. There was a time when it looked like he had no chance. And now he's somewhere in between. I still think there's, it's not done. But realistically, he ain't getting it.
On that note, or towards that vein, another player that has kind of had... I wouldn't say that people are saying he's done, but there are people who are questioning the future of Jadon Sancho. He's not going on the trip because he's continuing his sort of personal fitness program that I don't excuse me, I don't know if it was set to him by the club or whether he did it himself and the club agreed to it, because the reports I saw were that he's doing this personal training program and the club have sort of sanctioned it. They've said that's okay for him to continue that. So that doesn't sound like they've told him to do that, does it? It sounds like he's asked them and they've agreed to it. What do you make of all that? He's off training in the Netherlands with someone else, Jadon Sancho.
If it's, the ends justify the means, don't they? If it's getting him up to scratch and where he needs to be in terms of his United career, then I'm all for it. I don't think particularly, playing a game, a friendly in Cadiz is necessarily, or a couple of friendlies is necessarily going to turn his season around for him.
No.
But getting him, maybe it's his fitness levels, whatever it is. If someone's working on that with on an individual basis, then more power to him. It's been weird because we've had a little bit of reminder for me these last sort of few days with Jude Bellingham, because Jude Bellingham's obviously flying for England, been flying at Dortmund, and there was a time when Jadon Sancho was that guy. I know he's a different position. I'm not saying, I'm not comparing them as players. I'm comparing the situation. Jadon Sancho was a young lad who left City, despite the fact that City wanted to keep him. Apparently, Pep Guardiola, I think, wanted him to stay. Gone to Dortmund, smashed it, had one of the highest rates of goals and assists in any of the top leagues, and then started playing for England. Did okay for a while. Then I think it was at Ukraine in the Euros, for example, when he was absolutely smashing it. And people going, you know what, Jadon Sancho, what a guy. Obviously, that's that's after he got his big money move, I think, to Manchester United as well. Yeah. So, everything was going right for him. And then he's had this spell where he had a bad season last season, although everyone at United did. This season started off all right, apart from the first two games. You got goal against Leicester. I think it was Leicester, wasn't it? Goal against the Scousers. Goal against, was it Sheriff away? Showing the shin pads that Fana give him. Everyone's sort of getting behind him. And then his form has just deserted him. And now a lot of people are sort of just massively questioning his future at United.
It's weird that it went that way, because it looked like this season, pre-season he was excellent. Like I said, those early games, obviously excluding the first two games, but that sort of early spell, he looked good and he looked like one of United's best attacking players. And him and Rashford both kind of looked like they were doing the same thing together, like picking it up from last season, coming back looking like the best. And Rashford's continued that acceleration and continued to improve back to where he was 2 years ago. And Sancho hasn't. He's gone the other way. And I don't know what's happened there. And then there is something interesting about a player having time off because of the World Cup. I know the whole situation is new, but just, having a player that isn't training with their team because they've got their own individual training program. That isn't something you hear of very often.
No.
It's not a rehabilitation. It's not like he's been injured and he's got specific sort of physios and specialists on an injury or on a part of the body. It's just like he's just off training somewhere else. Like the football-based stuff or whatever that Ten Hag's doing isn't what he needs. Like there's something going on there, isn't there? Like I don't know what it is. Is it fitness thing? Is it I don't know, but why is he off doing something with everyone else? I like that Ten Hag's agreed to it. Hopefully it's a sign that he's trying to turn things around and push in the right direction. But it is unusual, isn't it? That's not a situation I'm used to seeing. I know we saw it before where Bruno Fernandes and Fred would train with like Ryan Hopper and stuff, but that was
during lockdown, wasn't it?
During lockdown.
And on top of their training.
Yeah,
because they weren't
they
playing
were
games.
still with the club.
Yeah.
So I don't know, why he's missing friendlies for the sake of doing training when friendlies are meant to help improve your fitness. It's just a weird situation. I'd like to know more about that, and I'm sure, hopefully, in 12 months' time, we can see an interview with a banging form Jadon Sancho who's got 8 goals, 8 assists to start next season, and he's telling us about what went wrong for the first sort of 12 or 18 months of his United career, looking back, sitting on top again. But it's a bit of a weird situation that I don't really know what to say about it because I've never seen it before.
No, it is quite rare. I can't think of it. It might have happened before. I'm sure it has. People, Abinab Verma says a report saying Eric Ten Hag approved of the coaches. Thomason says, did Christian Pulisic's World Cup campaign change anyone's opinion on him having him at United? No. 2 man of the match and 3 goal contributions. Not me personally. Just on the Jadon Sancho thing, people need to realise as well. I mean, I've been slightly guilty of that myself. Where I look at it and I go, do you know what? If everyone's fit, Martial down the middle, Anthony on the right, Marcus on the left. That's your front three for me. Where's Jadon Sancho coming in? And also we're being linked with someone like Cody Gakpo. Yeah. And don't forget, Alejandro Garnacho's absolutely smashing it. Yeah. He's going to be in the conversation as well. Where does that leave Sancho? But then you look at it and you think, if you are going to challenge for the top prizes and challenge for titles and challenge in Europe, you need a squad. Yeah. And you need more than 4 or 5. You need about 6 players in your attacking department. Look at City. They had like Foden, Grealish, Jesus, this is last season, Sterling, then you've got the Silva and De Bruyne and all that slightly deeper. But they had like 6 or 7 Gundogan who were in like those 4 positions or 5 positions, all vying for it. Yeah. And I think, United haven't really had that. And there is going to be space for people to be rotated and stuff. So you do want Jadon Sancho to get back to his best because there's a reason we spent 70 odd million quid for him. And I can't recall many people moaning when we did. No. I certainly didn't see many on this channel.
Well,
we covered it extensively.
Compared to the 150 and 120 they wanted the year before. And also, like you said, even if he's not first choice, Ronaldo hasn't been first choice this season. Lindelof hasn't been first choice this season. They've both played double-digit games. Yeah. Like, neither of them are first choice, but you still get plenty of games. Like you said, you need rotation, you need different options. So a flying Jadon Sancho could very well make himself first choice again with the opportunities he gets.
I feel sorry for him as well. And, I know sometimes as football fans we can be pretty unforgiving. Good to see John Shin in the chat as well.
I bet he's fucking well excited for tonight, isn't he?
I'm scared that John Shin may explode later on.
South Korea didn't play Brazil in 2002, did they? Or did they?
I don't know. John Shin, let us know in the comments. Did South Korea play Brazil in 2002? I'm sure he's well up on it.
He's older than us, isn't he? Me. Sorry.
Wow.
He's older than
bit harsh on John there.
I always think that John's like my age or a bit younger, but I think he's in like 30.
He's got a little baby face.
Yeah, he's aged very well. He's aged so much better than me.
One thing I just want to say on Jadon Sancho before we move on. Do you feel a bit sorry for him? He's had this big money move. It's not worked out. He's played under 3 managers in his first season. Shocking. Now under 4. He's also playing alongside players who lost their confidence completely. Yeah. Because the last season was a pretty much a disaster. There's a price tag. There's all that. They had the Euros. He misses a penalty. He gets pelters. Sounds like everyone's gunning for him. It isn't easy just psychologically to sort of ignore all that noise and to put it to one side. And I think sometimes we dismiss it, don't we? And we go, well, they paid loads of money. Should be able to deal with it. It's not that simple. Yeah. So, like you said, hopefully Jadon Sancho can get back to his best because there is a very, very talented player there. And also, he seems like a decent kid to me. He doesn't seem like a knobhead.
No, he seems all right.
Yeah. Go on. What have you got for me?
Korea didn't play each other and Brazil didn't play each other in the World Cup. They played each other in 2002 after the World Cup in a friendly, which Brazil won. I can't imagine I'm remembering that, so I must have just got it wrong.
Yeah.
But Before we move on, Jay.
Yes.
Should we talk a little bit about Manscaped?
Yes, because 'tis the season for clean balls. Fa la 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 la. Right? Our friends at Manscaped are helping you clear your driveway for safe travels this holiday season.
These innuendos are getting so stretched and loose, not like anything else, by the way.
Right. Yeah, like my reputation.
Yeah, and ball bag.
Yes.
That I don't even know what that means. Helping you clear your driveway for safe travels. I get the clear your driveway, but
Yeah.
where does safe travels come into sort of the genital area?
Well, I'll tell you what, my genitals don't do any travelling. Unless I do travelling.
So they do then?
Yeah, they do. From stocking stuffers to gift exchanges, Manscaped's products are at the top of every wish list. Grab some crop mops for your pops or the shampoo for your boo. Be the start of the gifting season and help all the men in your life go from eggnog to nice hog. I don't get that. I don't get it. I ain't going to lie to you. Yeah?
I don't know.
I've tried my hardest to keep up with some of this, right? But go from eggnog to nice hog.
Nice hog, I get.
What?
Because hog is a term for a penis sometimes.
Oh, is it?
Like a little pig fella. I don't get what eggnog could be.
Like from eggnog?
Yeah.
Right, so you're starting off with eggnog.
Yeah, but I don't know what that.
Yeah.
Imagine someone pulled your trousers down and they went, I tell you what, I couldn't go near it. Why? Eggnog.
Eggnog. Yeah. What is
Don't know
that?
what that is.
And then you've gone from that to nice hog. Yeah. Okay.
What do you have to do to get that? All you have to do
go on.
is go to manscaped.com and use the code DEVILS20 for 20% off and free shipping. So it's not it's 20% off and free shipping using the code DEVILS20. Now, forget the innuendo, forget all that stuff. Talk to me about trimming your boys.
Listen, the Platinum, because we're now at Platinum Performance Package 4.0, yeah, is absolutely what it says. It is Platinum. It's the elite. It's the creme de la creme. Yeah, it has revolutionised my entire existence. Yeah,
Certainly your downstairs.
exactly. Because you've got everything in there. You've got the crop preserver, you've got the crop toner, you've got the anti-shaving boxing, you've got the travel bag, you've got the Shears 2.0, you've got the Weed Whacker nose and hair trimmer. That's where you get Shears 2.0 because as a man of my age, you need a bit of that. So it's not just down there I'm looking better, it's here and here as well. You've also got like deodorants, gels, exfoliants, shampoo. Yeah? It's got everything you want there.
They just cover the entire male grooming and cleanliness spectrum, don't they? They just have everything. If you need a one-stop shop for getting your mop cropped,
nice.
then Manscaped is the place to do it.
It is because, you know, we've done it out before. You've done it in the sink with Brillo pads and knives and stuff, and it just doesn't work, does it? It's not the same as a lawnmower 4.0.
I used to get a couple of laser pens from Skegness Market and sort of point them so they would hit each other, like something off James Bond.
I was about to say you are like Goldfinger or whatever.
Yeah, and I'd merge the lasers and try to burn off the pubes.
Yeah. What was the success rate?
Very poor. I've also got some light scarring on the shaft.
Exactly. We don't get any light scarring on the shaft when you're using Manscaped. So go and check him out. Manscaped.com. Devils20. There's a link in the description. You get 20% off. You get free shipping as well. And what's this? What's this say here? The electric razor's advanced skin-safe technology is a life changer and known for reducing nicks and cuts on his Santa sack. There you go. There's a lovely image. Hey, so go and check them out. Don't forget, Devils20, links in the description. Big shout out to Manscaped. Your balls will thank you and all that, yeah? It's a good Christmas present, that's. Go and check it out. Who are we going to talk about now?
Great question. I think we should talk about Jeremy Frimpong.
Should we?
Yeah.
Okay, then, let's do that. This is the geezer from... Where?
By Leverkusen.
I should know this. I had this morning in my news.
By
He's a right back, innit? Dutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we love Dutch players at Manchester United ever since Erik ten Hag's come. We loved him anyway, and now we love him even more. Now, I believe this kid is available for around 24 million squids.
Yeah, 24 million quid, 25 million euro, that region.
Yeah.
Fabrizio Romano says that there is internal interest.
Internal interest?
At Man United for Jeremy Frimpong. Internal interest.
As opposed to external interest. Hey. It's internal.
I suppose it would have to be internal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because if it's external interest, it's a different club to Man United.
That just reminds me when it's like, have you ever watched Seinfeld? When George Costanza's dad, he goes, what happened to Aunt Baby? She died. What did she die? He goes, no problems. They were internal.
Just
Internal.
Yeah.
Like,
general.
Yeah, just internal interest.
interest.
We just, just general internal stuff within, the United organisation
Within
itself.
the culture and the
opposed to another club which would have no bearing on United whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, do you know much about this kid or what?
I know a little bit about him. What I know mostly is that he seems to have quite a surprisingly adamant fan base. He's one of those players.
Oh, God.
People like him a lot.
I can't cope.
If you he's kind of a hipster's favorite.
I can't. We've had enough of them. I can't. Honestly, right. Listen, I get getting behind a player, backing a player. Do you know what I mean? I still love Danny Welbeck. I understand all that.
Yeah.
But we have had the armies mobilise at times.
Yeah.
When you say something like, I don't think Donny van der Beek is good enough,
How dare you?
And it's like you get in trouble.
Get out!
That's what I mean for the next 3 days. Or I made a joke about Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And was told that I was basically a Glazer stooge who, hated me children.
Yeah.
Because that's criticised
And
Cristiano Ronaldo.
that's not because you don't like
That's
Ronaldo.
got nothing to do, just because it costs too much. So yeah, it is one of those where you go, oh no, not another, Frimpong FC. We've got Pogba FC, Martial FC, which, all right, it's could be good now. But do we need another one? Listen, regardless of all that, do you think he can come in and do a job for Manchester United Football Club internally?
Probably for 25 million euros, he's worth a punt. That's probably around the fee we would get for Wan-Bissaka if we sold him. I think we could maybe a bit less, but I think we could probably get 15 to 20 million quid for Wan-Bissaka, which obviously is slightly less, but a similar amount to replace him with Jeremy Frimpong. I think that would be a fair trade.
We've had a couple of people mention the Sloppy Joe's live podcast at the weekend. Very well done to yourself, to Joe McGrath, to Ethan. I had a little cameo as well. Harry Hatchell says, yes, Jay, loved you scranning everything at the Sloppy Joe's live show. Yeah. I did get a decent scran out of it, didn't I?
Yeah, you got
what I mean?
Very well paid.
Yeah.
That chili was lovely.
Also, we've got John Shin here, who seems to be having quite a few conversations in here. I think he's doing a watch-along. Are you doing a watch-along, John Shin? Get involved in the chat and let us know. Just another football fan who's been a member of the first team for 28 months. This is going back to the Jadon Sancho point. Says, it's easy to forget with Sancho that he's still young. Most players at his age are on their second or third loan, trying to break through at their team. It's a good point to remember that, because like Jesse Lingard was making his debut about 23, wasn't he, for United? Yeah. So it's easy to forget that Jadon Sancho is still relatively young. John Hemingway says, I heard that if you win the Manscaped pack in 12 days of Paddock, Jay will come round to your house and do the first shave while singing Silent Night. What a surprise. Facts, just facts there, PR facts. It's not just Frimpong that we've been linked with, though, is it? Hey, we don't just get linked with one player. With Manchester United, yeah, we do things differently. We've also got Caicedo. Now, this is the kid, Moises Caicedo, who we were linked with a few years ago, weren't we? Yeah? He went to Brighton for a relatively low fee. Yeah. And now we're being linked with him again for about 60 million quid.
Fuck off.
I mean, that's just typical United, that, isn't it?
Not doing it. I'm not having that. He's not that good. He's all right. He's a decent player. He had a decent game against United when they beat us. He's a decent player. But 60 million quid for what? He's okay. He's quite good. He's like, I can't say more than that. He's not worth 60 million quid in any market. How much did they pay for him? Wasn't it like 10 million or 4 million?
It wasn't a lot. I'm just trying to look at it.
United were linked with him, and he went to Brighton instead. Does it say roughly? Can we get that on the screen there? Oh, excellent. That's his stats so far this season. I don't know if we can get his transfer fee up as well at some point. But
it says undisclosed when I had a look earlier. We'll see if we can find out. Have a little Google, see if we can find out, lads. He's played 22 Premier League games. So it's a punt. Also, I mean, he's still young. He's 21. He's
young. He's improving. He's a good player, but come on.
What's his ceiling? How good can he be? Do you think this kid could be amazing?
Top shit. No. I think he could be a good player, and I think he could get games for Man United. But 60 million quid's a lot to sit behind Casemiro on the bench, innit? It's a lot of money. Yeah,
I mean, okay, maybe. I think it was a 4.5 million deal I've just seen there.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was something like that.
I've done a Google.
4.5 million euros is the suggested fee there on transfer market. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Like, we're not... €5 million, yeah, £4.5 million.
Sorry, £4.5 million, yeah.
That's just... We could have got him for that 2 years ago. And I appreciate that sometimes a player has to go to Brighton to improve and excel, and then they can be worth a lot more a couple of years down the line. But he's not proven himself to be worth 15 times what he was worth 2 years ago, has he?
No.
Like, he just hasn't. If he was worth £4.5 million 2 years ago, he's probably worth £25 million now, because he's proven himself to be pretty good. But he's inconsistent and he makes a lot of mistakes. He's a good player and he had a very good game against United, which I think has clouded the judgment of some United fans. But he's not that good week in, week out, as far as I've ever seen him.
Samuel Ingram says, Jay, Moises Caicedo is the new N'Golo Kante. And then that emoji, and a fire emoji.
I don't agree.
Listen, I understand sometimes you take a punt on a youngster and you might get, the new N'Golo Kante or whatever, or the next N'Golo Kante. From what I've seen of Moises Caicedo, it looks all right. Let's not forget as well, about 18 months ago, everyone was twerking for Bissouma from Brighton. Well, we've got to get Bissouma. Oh, mate, why are we not getting Bissouma? Getting 40 million quid. What's the matter with you? Get Bissouma, he's mint. I remember seeing him at Old Trafford thinking, he's all right, he's not all that. He's a bit wasteful, possession. And he's gone to Spurs and warming their bench.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you think, would he have come at United and tore it up? There's a lot of pressure coming to United. We just spoke about Jadon Sancho smashing it in Germany in the Bundesliga for Dortmund, struggling a little bit at United. It happens to players when they come. And I don't ever seen enough from Caicedo to say that he's the answer for our midfield. Listen, if he comes, I'll get behind him. We get behind all Manchester United signings. But I think there's better players available. Should we talk about Cody Gakpo?
Yeah.
And it seems that we've got we've got this plan B. Right, go on. You can talk us through this. This is the kid from Milan?
Yeah.
Go on.
Leao is the sort of the second option Portuguese player. It says 14 goals last season, 7 already this season.
Yeah.
He seems to be an improving player. I think he's 22 years old. He looks to be a good young player, Rafael Leao.
He's 23, sorry. He's just 23, I think.
Okay. But yeah, I like him. I think he's good.
Well, he's 23, yeah.
I think that Gakpo is probably better. But again, I just... the market for wingers is so weird.
Isn't this thing as well, like, Gakpo is around 40, 50 million quid.
Yeah.
You're going to probably pay more for this geezer from Milan, aren't you?
Probably about the same, yeah.
Right. It doesn't, I don't know. It just seems weird, this one to me. I get it. I get if you don't get Cody Gakpo, you have to get someone. But I also feel like we have to get someone who we're certain is good enough. Now, this, the lad's doing all right. I think he scored for Portugal not long ago. When was it he scored? Against Ghana in the 3-2 win. I don't really like judging players too much off World Cup games.
No.
Because you can play against literally championship players. England beat Senegal the other day. Great. Good result. Loving it. In that Senegal team were players that are not Premier League level. Literally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, one of their best players in the championship. Yeah. So you have to be a little bit careful. Like, obviously, if you're playing in a World Cup game against Brazil and you're banging in a hat-trick, then I think we can say you're a very good player. But if you're playing in the group stages and you're doing all right, I don't think that should have any bearing on whether you're good enough to play for Manchester United.
No.
What we should be looking at is what he's doing at Serie A. He looks like he's doing well. Again, though, is he the answer long-term? I'm not so sure. I don't know enough about him to make a full judgment. So please do get involved in the chat and the comments. Let us know. Davis Waller makes a good point here. He says, Jay, I will back anyone who Erik ten Hag wants. I get that. Yeah, I understand that. I didn't know a lot about Tyrone Malacia. Good signing. I didn't know a lot about Lisandro Martinez, and now I can't live without him. Yeah. So I understand that. But I think if you're going to ask me, what do you make of this signing? I've got to be honest.
Same.
Samuel Ingraham says, Jay, if we don't get Cody Gakpo, we can get Dusan Vlahovic and Victor Osimhen. I think that's an or, isn't it? Not both of them. Osimhen's price is just stratospheric.
If 40 million is too much for Gakpo, why don't you get Vlahovic, who would be probably 60, 70 million, and Osimhen, who'd be 100? Like, if you can't afford one, why don't you buy someone who's twice as expensive?
Yeah.
I don't think that's really an either or, is it?
The problem with Osimhen is he cost... It's Napoli, is that, isn't it? Yeah. He cost Napoli, was it 70 million going up to 80 million? Yep. They're not going to take a loss on him. They want a profit on him because he's done relatively well there. So you've got to spend towards 100 million for someone who you're not even certain is good enough. No. If we're spending towards 100 million on a striker, I want someone, right, who is almost like a banker. Like someone who's done it in the Premier League or done it at top level over like last 3 or 4 years consistently, and you go, that guy just gets you goals.
The problem with that is, though, name them. Who is that player? Because there aren't many that aren't either aging, or haven't already been and failed in the Premier League, or who are available. There really just are so few. Like Barca, their main striker is 34, 35-year-old Lewandowski. Real Madrid, it's 34-year-old Benzema. Bayern Munich, it's currently, I think, Choupo-Moting's their top scorer this season, and they've just got Sadio Mane, who's, I think, turning 30 this year. City's striker is obviously just gone there. He's not leaving anytime soon, Haaland. Arsenal have just got City's backup striker as their main striker.
Chelsea just got Nkunku, haven't they?
Chelsea have just got Nkunku again, who is massively, again, he's a sort of a number 10, number 9 sort of hybrid. But again, he's unproven. He's sort of Osimhen levels of proven. He went to PSG, didn't do very well, then went to the Bundesliga, did really well. But like, there's just a bit of a lack of proven up-and-coming striker. Not proven and up-and-coming, because you can't really be both, but like that level of, like, when we bought Lukaku, he'd done enough clubs where you go, okay, he's banging in goals for West Brom, he's banging in goals for Everton, this guy's probably capable of banging in a few goals for United. There just aren't many in the world.
Would you have a different type of player then in someone like João Felix? Because he's been linked with United.
Yeah.
And he's around that 85 million quid mark, I think.
And he's someone that is slightly more proven.
Yeah.
And even though he's
not an
himself,
out-and-out, lead the line, get your head on stuff, striker by any stretch of the imagination.
He's proven himself to maybe not be quite the player people thought he was. But that's when people thought he might be the best player in the world. Yeah. He's probably not.
No.
But again, for 75, 80 million quid, you're not buying best player in the world. Would you have him? I'd think about it.
You make a great point.
Yeah.
Because it's, when you say that, I'm thinking and I'm like, everyone who I can think of.
Mbappe. He's the one. Mbappe is the one that is somewhat available. He obviously doesn't want to stay at PSG for his whole life. And also, is
there any way of, sorry to insult you, is there any way of getting that on? Can we get that on? Yeah? Stick
Japan
it on.
Croatia,
we'll go to penalties. We'll try and give you an update on that.
If you're watching this live. But Mbappe's the only one that is like, seems like he could leave the club he's at, is also hugely proven, is young and is brilliant. But he's going to cost you 150 million quid. Do you know something, right? I won't put it past United to do that.
What? Go on.
Get Mbappe. Like, I wouldn't put us favourites by any means. I wouldn't.
Right.
But when you think around Europe, what teams buy like already massively established, world-class, huge names consistently?
Yeah.
No one does it as much as United.
No.
Barcelona do it, but they get them on the way down.
Yeah.
I mean, United have done that a little bit as well, but like United have got Ronaldo, Varane, Casemiro. We bought Sancho when he was the sort of not quite Mbappe levels of promise, but like the most promising winger in the world or attacking midfielder in the world when we bought him. We bought Pogba, we bought Zlatan, we bought Lukaku, we bought Di Maria. No one else is doing this.
Yeah.
There is no other club in the City aren't doing it.
No.
City winning everything by buying players you've never heard of until Haaland.
Yeah.
Right? That's different. Liverpool aren't doing it.
No.
Real Madrid used to do it, and then the last time they spent a lot of money, they bought people like Jovic and Ferland Mendy and
Hazard. I know Hazard was a big name, but
Hazard's like the last big one they bought.
No, you're right.
They wanted Mbappe, they didn't get him. Barcelona do it, but they get people on free and they get people, weird sort of dodgy shit.
Mess in a minute, it's PSG, deferring wages and all sorts.
United, and that's kind of it. Buying big name players consistently.
Yeah.
So I know Mbappe is probably too good for United at the minute in terms of he could go to a club that's more guaranteed trophies. But I wouldn't put it past United to try to get Mbappe because not many clubs buy names like that, and United is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
As much as we convince ourselves we won't, no one thought we'd get Casemiro. We did.
Do you know what? We're not going to do watch long for penalties because I'm going to be honest with you. I like the World Cup and I like penalties, but I'm stretching
I like penalties.
Yeah, do
you think we could go after Mbappe?
You make a good point, a good case, and I think everyone hates on United and everyone dismisses United as being big players in the transfer market, but the fact is, I'm not saying we'll get Mbappe, but the fact is, there are only about 5 or 6 clubs, if that are on Real Madrid's level, because he could go to Madrid or he doesn't go to Madrid. He could go to, he could go to a lot of other clubs who've got better teams than us.
Yeah.
But in terms of size, the top sort of 5 or 6 clubs in the world are Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Juve, Bayern Munich, maybe a push the Scousers.
Yeah.
In terms of fan base, crowds, all that other stuff. And, United are one of the biggest clubs in the world. Yeah. History, everything.
And Juve are in about as much disarray as United are at the minute.
Like, it's just, those are the biggest clubs in the world.
Yeah.
Now, people don't want to talk about it, because United are just rubbish and all this stuff, but we are. And that's part of the selling point. That's why you can convince someone like, okay, money always plays a part, but someone like Zlatan to come, or, Di Maria to leave Real Madrid, or Casemiro to leave Real Madrid.
Varane.
Fucking
loads.
It's not easy to get players to leave Real Madrid and come to your club, but we've done it, 3 times with, is it Di Maria, Casemiro, and Varane?
Yeah.
Like, because you come into one of the biggest clubs in the world. Everyone knows who United are. You know what they're about. Do you know what I mean? The only club in England where you can come here and play in front of 70-odd thousand fans every week. It's not happening if you go and sign for City.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So there is that. I think that the trouble you have for me with Mbappe is I just feel that there'll be other clubs who are more attractive in the market for him.
Who do you think it would be? Because Real Madrid they went for him all out, didn't they?
Yeah.
And he basically went, nah, fuck off.
I think they could come back in for him, though.
You think?
I think they could. The trouble you have with Madrid, I don't know the situation there. Who's the kid, the guy is it Florentino Perez?
Yeah.
Who's, a lunatic. They make all these promises, and it's like, I'll get you in. I'll do this. We'll do that. Now, maybe there's not that sort of ability because of what's happened with the Super League and all that other stuff, but I still feel like Madrid could come in. You're probably looking at it and you go, okay, if Chelsea get Nkunku, would they go in for Mbappe as well? Todd Burley's off his head. Yeah. I'm surprised me if we'll get him. Well, Mbappe, I saw him at the World Cup, he's meant to get him. So you might have to go up against them. I know it's not like that. And also, when a player like Mbappe comes involved or on the market, then everyone comes out of the woodwork, don't they? Yeah, maybe the Scousers get a load of money as well from their takeover. Maybe they go in for it. Maybe Barca have another president comes in who goes, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll pull a load more levers and we'll get you killing Mbappe if you vote for me. So I don't expect it to happen, but you never know. Who's your Wally of the week?
Ooh, Wally of the week. It's a good question, that. Who's yours first? Have you got one?
Yeah.
Go on.
Do you know what, right? You know me. I don't want to make things political.
No,
but I am sick of this nonsense about all these strikes and people digging them out and having a go at them and going, oh, why are they striking? I know it's inconvenient. I don't like it and everything, but you got people like nurses and stuff who are on food banks and everything. It's just minging, innit? Yeah. And you've got all these people, like the government writing off 40 billion worth of PPE things or whatever, or just, equipment that was no good. It's don't worry about that and giving all these tax breaks to the rich. And then we're demonising these workers who just want paid at sort of, that they deserve. I'm just not into it, man. I think there's a narrative going that I don't agree with. And I've, strikes have hurt me as well, but I think that's part of the sacrifice. Go on.
Yeah, and I think you can say, oh, it's annoying that strike's on, or it's inconvenienced me, but you've still, for me, still back the reason they're doing it.
Yeah, of course, man. Do you know what I mean? That was a penalty. Like, I'm not bothered. That was like five-a-side warm-up.
Was that Berbatov, that?
Berbatov against Everton at Wembley. Yeah.
For me, my Wall of the Week is people that have, and there's many of them that present on this channel, that constantly say how shit Gareth Southgate is and that he shouldn't manage England. Because other than watching England win loads of games at tournaments, what do you actually want from an England manager? Should we get someone that's managed Real Madrid in Fabio Capello, who did fuck all? Yeah. Should we get someone that's meant to be the sort of the modern thinker manager in Sven-Göran Eriksson, who won fuck all? Or should we get someone who's actually a bit of a shit Premier League manager who, for whatever reason, can consistently win games and create an England team that, for some reason, is now capable of winning matches at knockout tournaments all the time?
Yeah.
He's won as many knockout games, or has won as many games in tournaments as any manager for England.
Yeah.
We've got to semi-final, final. Yes, we've got France. We might not get through that because they are just maybe the best team in the world.
Yeah.
But, like, Gareth Southgate is comfortably the best England manager in my lifetime by a mile. So, like, what could you have done better? Well, we could have won the last 2 tournaments, but that's pretty unlikely, isn't it? I just think the dissing that Southgate gets from everyone all the time, I just don't understand it. I absolutely don't understand it. Just enjoy watching England win for once.
No, I can't. You know what I like about England is I don't hate this team.
Yeah.
I'm not that. I want England to win, but I'm not like, oh, England and St. George and me out. But I hated some of the teams that I watched growing up with England, Gerrard and Terry and players that I fucking despised. And this team now, even the players that play for like the Scousers and for City, I don't you know, they don't bother me that much. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They just seem like just okay lads who obviously play for a club that I hate. So yeah, there is a likability factor. We have got an event coming up on the 30th of December. Myself, Joe Smith, Adam McCullough, Stephen Howson, and also Brian McClare, a Manchester United legend. Brian McClare is going to be in Dublin on the 30th of December. There's a link in the chat. Get involved. Come and join us. If you don't know as well, Croatia have gone through beating Japan on penalties. They're through to the World Cup. Is that the quarterfinals? They're through to. So yeah, come and join us in Dublin as well. 30th of December. There's a link in the description and a link in the chat. Joe, where can people find you?
Sloppy Joe's on YouTube. Just walking around the roads.
Yeah, wandering the streets.
Yeah, Woolworths and that.
Don't forget as well to check out the 12 Days of Paddock, where you can win yourself some lovely money. That's been Joe. I've been Jay. This has been Stretford Paddock. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.